King Kong and the Serpent of Skull Island. The air on Skull Island hung thick and humid, a living breath exhaled by the ancient, untamed jungle. Emerald canopies, centuries old, stretched like an unbroken sea, concealing secrets and terrors within their depths. In this primeval realm, one creature reigned supreme. Kong, he was a titan, a living mountain of muscle and fur. His roar a thunderclap that echoed through the valleys, a declaration of his dominion. For years he had patrolled his territory, a vigilant guardian against the island's myriad horrors. The colossal insects, the monstrous lizards, the very earth that seemed to writhe with ancient life. His keen eyes, intelligent and wary, narrowed. A disturbance. The air grew heavy with the scent of ozone and something else, a musky reptilian odor that spoke of immense, cold-blooded power. Even the chirping insects and distant cries of pterodactyls ceased, as if sensing the impending clash of titans. Kang rounded a bend in a narrow gorge, and there it was. The sheer scale of the serpent was breathtaking. Even to Kang it was longer than the tallest waterfall, its coils capable of crushing stone. He moved with a primal grace, his senses on high alert, tearing through thickets as if they were cobwebs. He knew this scent, this destructive path. It was a challenger, one unlike any he had faced before. Not the usual rustling of a Virex hunt, nor the distant rumble of a volcanic vent. Its body whipped around Kong, a living rope of muscle and scale. He pushed, straining every fiber of his being, his muscles bulging, veins standing out like ropes on his arms. He grabbed the freed section of Cathar's body, his fingers digging into the unyielding scales. And with a primal scream, he swung the colossal snake, smashing it against the jagged cliffs. The impact reverberated through the valley, dislodging rocks and sending smaller creatures scattering. Slowly, agonizingly, he began to uncoil the serpent. Its fangs, dripping with venom, found their mark, sinking deep into Kong's shoulder. With a terrifying primal strength, he began to twist. Kong's teeth were gritted, his face contorted with effort and pain. Its immense body slumped to the earth, a colossal, lifeless coil. Slowly, inexorably, the serpent's struggles weakened. Its thrashing grew less violent, its hisses fading into gurgles. With a final agonizing twist, there was a sickening crack. The serpent thrashed wildly, its immense body whipping through the air, smashing against trees. But Kong held fast, his grip unyielding. A searing pain shot through Kong's body, a burning fire that spread rapidly. He ripped a massive boulder from the ground, its weight insignificant in his grip. Cathar, sensing its advantage, coiled tighter, preparing for the final squeeze. But Kang was faster. The venom still coursed through him, making his limbs tremble, but the immediate danger was past. Kong, wounded but victorious, limped to a nearby waterfall, plunging his shoulder into the cool, rushing water, letting it wash away the venom and the grime of battle. He let out a ragged, triumphant roar, a sound of exhaustion and victory that echoed through the now silent jungle. The legend of Kong, the eighth wonder of the world, the undisputed ruler of Skull Island, had just grown. He had faced a new terror, a creature from the island's deepest, darkest legends, and he had prevailed. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Kong climbed to his highest peak, his silhouette immense against the dying light, a silent, powerful guardian of his untamed world. The jungle breathed again, its balance restored, awaiting the next challenge, knowing its king stood ready. With a guttural roar, he hurled the boulder with all his might. He staggered, his vision blurring, the venom working its way into his bloodstream. He roared again, a sound of defiance and immense effort. And with a final Herculean heave, he tore one of Cathar's coils free. Had to end this now. Kong roared, struggling against the crushing embrace. The serpent's coils tightened, squeezing the air from his lungs, pressing against his ribs with unimaginable force. He could feel his bones groan under the pressure, the world starting to dim around the edges. It sought to encircle Kong, to use its immense length to constrict him. Kong, however, knew the jungle. He tore up a massive tree, roots and all, and swung it like a club. The makeshift weapon connected with Cathar's midsection with a sickening thud, sending tremors through the ground. Before it could recover, Kang was upon it. The serpent recoiled, a low, guttural shriek escaping its throat, a sound of ancient pain. Cathar responded with a hiss, a sound like steam escaping a volcanic vent, revealing rows of razor-sharp fangs, each dripping with a viscous, emerald venom. This was different. A slithering, crushing force, leaving a wake of splintered trees and flattened undergrowth. Kong, agile despite his bulk, sidestepped, the serpent's head slamming into the rock face behind him, sending a shower of pulverized stone. He retaliated instantly, bringing his massive fist down in a thunderous blow. But Cathar was too quick, its coils retracting, its body rippling away just in time. It was moving steadily towards the heart of his domain. Today, however, a new tremor disturbed the jungle's rhythm, a subtle discord that prickled the coarse hairs on Kong's neck. It was Cathar, the great serpentine, a beast whispered about in ancient island legends, rarely seen and never survived. Cathar was not merely large. It was an aberration. Its scales, the color of bruised obsidian, shimmered with an oily sheen, each one the size of a warrior's shield. Its body, thicker than the mightiest redwood, coiled and uncoiled with an effortless, terrifying power, leaving a path of devastation in its wake. Its eyes, twin pools of malevolent gold, glowed with an ancient hunger, and from its gaping maw, a forked tongue flickered, tasting the very air for prey. Perched atop a jagged peak, his massive chest rising and falling with each breath, Kong scanned the verdant expanse. Deep within the shadowed valleys, a creature of nightmare stirred. Cathar had emerged from a newly opened chasm, disturbed by the island's restless geology. It had been dormant for centuries, a living fossil of primordial terror. Now, awakened and ravenous, it sought to claim this new world, starting with its most dominant inhabitant. Kong descended from his perch, his heavy footsteps shaking the earth. The jungle fell silent, an unnatural hush preceding the storm. Cathar. It was coiled around a cluster of ancient trees, its head massive as a boulder. Swaying slowly, its golden eyes fixed on Kong. A low growl rumbled in Kong's chest, a warning. The first move was Cathar's with astonishing speed for its size. It lunged, its head striking out like a battering ram. The serpent moved like liquid death, weaving through the dense foliage, its scales scraping against ancient bark, creating a chilling symphony of destruction. Enraged, Cathar launched itself again, not for a bite, but for a grapple. With a desperate surge of adrenaline, Kong braced his feet, his powerful legs digging trenches in the earth. The serpent hissed, momentarily disoriented, its grip loosening. This was Kong's chance. Cathar, stunned but not defeated, retaliated with a blinding strike. He knew this poison. It was slow, insidious, designed to paralyze before it killed. He had seen its effects on other creatures. Ignoring the pain, Kong focused. The stone missiles struck Cathar's head with devastating force. The serpent shrieked, a sound of agony and fury, its golden eyes glazing over. He lunged, his massive hands clamping onto Cathar's head, ignoring the thrashing coils and the venom that continued to burn in his shoulder. The struggle was immense, a silent battle of wills and raw power. Cathar went limp. Kong stood over the fallen Leviathan, his chest heaving, sweat and blood mingling on his fur. The battle had left its mark. Trees were splintered, the earth gouged, and the air still carried the metallic temps of blood and the musky scent of the serpent. Is the king. And though the jungle was scarred, it would heal, just as he would.